Hey, I'm Ariana Rodriguez, a systems specialist for agency owners rooted in equitable, intersectional, and sustainable business practices. This podcast shares the stories of agency owners like you who have gone from bootstrapping solopreneurs to empowered CEOs. They've been where you are, and each week you'll hear how we created systems that support their brains and businesses to get them where they are today. This is Stories of Scaling. Welcome to the party. Time and time again, when clients come to me to clean up their tech, systems, and processes, we come to a point where we have to talk about the cost of software. The first thing I look at in your processes is what we can take off your plate and give to automation. Where are you doing menial admin tasks over and over again? Where are you sending the same communications? Where can we standardize practices to ensure that every client receives the same care and consideration? And then we find the best automation solutions to simplify your life. However, that inevitably means that the software costs will go up. My team and I are very, very clear about what is absolutely necessary so you aren't spending needlessly. So when we do suggest software, we really mean that this is the best of the best for your situation. However, a good CRM costs money. A good project management software costs money. A good file storage system costs money. But I also understand that there can be a lot of resistance to that. So today I'm breaking down the 5 ways that trying to save a couple $100s in the short term will actually cost you way more in the long run. Those short-term cuts will cause you to miss opportunities. For example, if you manually track your sales pipeline, you're going to forget to follow up with a potential client, no matter how on top of these communications you are. This means you lose money and have to carry the mental load of knowing who you talk to, when, and what needs to happen next. A strong CRM with automation could notify you of where a lead is and when you need to follow up with them. You could be sitting on thousands of dollars, but missing out on it because of not investing in a good CRM. The next way not having the proper systems costs you money is by increasing your team costs and your team frustration. When your team has to spend time on tasks that could be automated, they're costing you money and probably getting very frustrated. For example, if your team is manually sending out client invoices, that's time that they could be spending on higher value tasks or simply logging off, right? And taking some time for themselves. A strong CRM with recurring invoices and invoice reminders could handle this for you. Not to mention, if your team slacks on sending invoices, they risk your business not getting paid on time. Another example is not automating deadline reminders for your team. If your team constantly has to ask you when something is due or when they need certain information, they are more likely to miss deadlines, spend too much time going back and forth with you, and potentially hold up other team members. Strategic zaps or automations inside of your project management tool can help keep everyone on the same page while cleaning up communication. The next thing that will cost you money is having an inconsistent client experience that lowers customer retention and referrals. So suppose you're manually tracking client delivery and client information. In that case, there will be inconsistencies in your delivery because it'll be based on how focused you and your team are in that particular moment. This means that some clients could be getting an amazing experience because you are feeling super generous and on top of it one week, and other clients could be getting half-assed work and late deliverables because you had a week that you were extra stressed and scattered. If you're a video editor, for example, maybe one client got their edits in 48 hours with extra visuals and effects because you were super on top of it, but then another client slips through the cracks and gets their edits days late without all the transitions they've requested, all because you didn't get the appropriate reminders of when it was due. When you skimp on tech, there are no guardrails for you. There's no way for you to guarantee that every client will be satisfied and flag when you're at risk of missing a deadline or deliverable. That means the couple of dollars that you saved on tech could cost you your reputation with a client and create bad word of mouth, losing you potentially additional thousands of dollars. The next way that skimping on good tech costs you money is having looser boundaries. So leveraging tech to uphold your boundaries is the hack to scaling your business. But when you don't invest in the right tech and software, you're increasing the effort required to hold and enforce your boundaries, which means that you're much more likely to break those boundaries, costing you money, time, and eventually leading up to resentment. For example, if you don't have automated invoice reminders, as we mentioned earlier, and you feel uncomfortable setting them on your own, or you forget to, you aren't upholding your boundary of getting paid on time before work can continue. Or if you have specific dates your clients can book calls on, but you don't have a call calendar link for them to book with you, you're spending a lot of time going back and forth while constantly reminding your clients of which days you are and are not available for them. And by doing this, you wind up being much more likely to bend your own boundaries and allowing them to book calls on days that you don't want to have conversations on. Now, another way that skimping on the tech that you do pay for loses you money is it makes the software you do pay for and your automations less effective. If you're cutting corners and pinching pennies in one area, you're most likely creating inefficiencies in other areas. For example, if you're using a project management tool that doesn't easily integrate with your team communication tool because you won't upgrade to the paid version of the software, you're creating friction in the system and limiting your team's ability to use either tool well. Now you're adding manual work that may get skipped over, which will cost a higher hourly rate for you and your client. You end up tying your hands behind your back when you don't invest in the right tech. You limit your growth and potential. And when you add up the cost of all the missed opportunities, higher team costs, human errors, loose boundaries, and inefficient tech, the couple of dollars you save each month aren't worth it. So in my offers, I help you realize what software is essential by thoroughly auditing your current tech and processes. We identify where you're wasting time and money and where you could leverage tech to improve the efficiency and profitability. We do so by mapping your entire business first, allowing us to see the bottlenecks, the unnecessary steps, and the weak points in your business. Then we match the ideal processes with the software, systems, and team members that make the most sense. We aren't throwing your money out the window, but we aren't hoarding it either. We make sure that you know that every dollar you invest in tech, software, and systems make it easier for you to grow and scale. So whether you need a full business operations audit or ongoing tech support, we've got you covered. And for those tech skeptics, our tech support package is tailor-made. We'll make sure every dollar you invest dances back to you in productivity and profit. Picture this: stress-free updates, glitch-free systems, and a team that's on the tech train. We're your safety net, catching tech troubles before they hit the ground. And that means more focus on growth, fewer headaches, and zero tech-induced meltdowns. We're not about blind spending. We're about tech that transforms. It's not just money out the door, it's your business's power boost. So with our tech support package, every software dollar is an investment in your potential. All right, I will hopefully see you on a call soon. Nos vemos. Thanks for hanging with me today. It would mean a lot to me if you would review the show on your favorite podcast platform. It helps the show get in front of more agency owners that need it. Nos vemos.